happening, everybody? Today's video, I'm going to make it short and simple, talking about logs. There's two form of logs. We have e-logs and we have paper logs. If you run in e-logs, you're mandatory to have paper logs on in the tractor just in case if your e-log doesn't work. Now, I will go in depth about the e-logs and I'll go in depth about the paper logs and showing you guys all the good perks of the e-logs and how to utilize them for your benefit. And I will show you as well how to fill in your paper logs if you needed that. Now on here you guys can see that it says on to break. That's you have 8 hours for drive time. From the minute you started your clock, you have 8 hours to take a half-hour break. Before, when I started, we didn't have to take a half-hour break. We can just literally drive the full 11 hours straight. Now with the new laws, you have to take a half-hour break every 8 hours of drive time. The way I tell everybody is, don't wait to the last second. Try to do it. Let's say if you're driving cross country, you have 1100, 1200, 1300 miles to drive, and you decided you're trying to plan your day to stop. Don't wait till the 8th hour. Try to stop like around the 7th hour. Say, hey, I'm going to stop and I'm going to take a half-hour break, rest, relax, take a moment, like try to forget about everything and just give yourself a moment before continue driving. Just remember one thing: when you're doing the half-hour break, if the tractor moves, let's say you're moving it, let's say it's like you're sitting at the fuel island and somebody starts honking on you, telling you to move, if you start rolling, it might put you onto driving back again and you might have to reset it. So to avoid that, find a safe place like a parking spot and actually park and do your half-hour break, so you don't have to sit at the fuel island and pointing to your phone and saying, hey, I'm on a half-hour break, because you really shouldn't be doing your half-hour break at the fuel pump. I'm just making that clear because I've seen people do it. Hey, I can move the tractor because I'm on my half-hour break. That's not a fair spot to do it, because you're messing with the person behind you. So find a safe spot, park, do your half-hour break, and then go on. You get to have we have 11 hours to drive in the day. So from the minute you start your clock, from the minute you start moving, the wheels moving on the tractor, your drive time starts. So you have 11 hours of drive time. Now, if you're again going through cross country, if you're planning your drive, I recommend, just to make it easier on yourself, plan your 8-hour break along with your fuel stops. So let's say you said, I'm going to fuel at this area, then try to do your half-hour break there, so this way you're knocking two birds with one stone. So get your fuel and that. Now let me go back to the on-duty, the break hour. Now each company is different. Some companies, the 8-hour, the half-hour break counts when you're on duty. So if you guys see, I've been on duty for 45 minutes, it already reset my break time. Now some companies require you to be off duty and then you have to do a 30-minute DOT break. But in my situation, my on duty is counted as my break time. Now the drive time, so as I said, you just try to plan it. Hey, I want to try to stop here to get fuel, so try to plan that you're going to take a half-hour break, eat your lunch, and then continue on your route. But you get 11 hours you can work that day. The next one is total shift. You have 14 hours that you can work in a full shift day. So from the minute you start your clock in the morning, so like say today I started at 6 in the morning, I have all the way till 8 o'clock, or Army time is 2000, that I can work. So I tell everybody, try to utilize the time for you, the best for you, as much as possible. So from the minute you start moving, that's the minute you go on duty, that's how much time you have to go. So if you guys can see, for today, for example, you can see that I started my day at 6 o'clock. Now I have all the way till 8 o'clock for me to end my day. So the last one is a 70-hour rule. So the minute you start on duty, your 70 hours start counting, because it also counts your drive time and your on duty time. So now for the 70-hour, so you have 70 hours to work in a week. And so from the minute you start your clock, you have 70 hours for that whole 7 days to get. Now, unless you do a 34-hour restart, then you reset your 70-hour and you can go back to regular. So if you guys can see here on my week, so on Friday I worked 12 hours 41 minutes, and then on Saturday I was off, on Sunday I was off, so that basically reset. So I got 24 hours here, and I got 24 hours on Sunday, so that basically resets my clock. So now that's why I have a fresh clock, because I did my 34-hour restart. I'll go into depth more about recap and how to use recap and how the hours work. But if you guys have any more questions about the hours of service and how to avoid being into any problems, please let me know in the comments. If you guys have any questions or I said something wrong, please let me know. And may God bless you all and have a blessed day.